Regarding climate action and climate justice, Young European Socialists are proposing several things, but I think in the center of it is that we need common solutions for common problems. So the climate crisis that we see right now is not caused by one person or one country, which means that the solution cannot come from one person or one country. We need to include everybody. And this leads me to the second thing that Young European Socialists are proposing, which is that we need to demand action from the corporations. When I hear a lot of political parties discuss climate action right now, they want to put the burden on the single person, like on the individual. We need to make better choices when we are in the supermarket. But we cannot save our planet this way. There are bigger players out there who really need to take action on this. And the corporations are not going to do it fast enough if it has to be up to the consumers to push them. So we need really brave politicians who are willing to regulate legislation towards big corporations to make them take responsibility. And this leads me to the third thing that is really important to Young European Socialists, which is that we need to change our economic system. Right now, we are valuing economic growth about everything else in this world. And this is unsustainable in many ways. So we need to value different things. Maybe sustainable growth, inclusive growth, just societies where everybody has the ability to shape their own future regardless of their background, instead of only valuing a country on the economic growth. It's a really huge change, but we really believe that it's needed in order for this planet to be sustainable. I think the climate marches and the Fridays for Future that we see right now, where my generations and even younger generations really go to the street to try to get the politicians to listen, I think many people see it as something really positive, like it's a hope. So the young generations that everybody thought wasn't interested in politics, now they are taking to the streets, they are interested in politics after all. And I think to a certain extent that is true, but I also think that these marches is a cry of frustration. It is because we have seen our parental generation into politics not taking our future seriously. They have had the opportunity. We have been discussing the climate crisis as long as I can remember, and the action have been too small. And I think it is responsibility of the current political generations. What we saw with the European elections is that in the S&D group in the European Parliament, we now have a huge percentage of newly elected young MEPs, and they have climate justice high on their agenda. And that is super important in order to have the European Union go in a more progressive direction. I often hear that my generation and the younger generations are not political. But that's not true. And that's actually what we see with these marches. That is political. A lot of things is political. It's not just being a member of a party that is a political action. Organizing a march, engaging your friends and family, going to vote, all of these things are political actions. But I think it's very important that one thing doesn't exclude the other. And I hope that a lot of young people who have been taking part in these marches and who still are taking part in these marches have gotten now the will to also engage in political parties, to really be a part of our democracy. Because one thing doesn't exclude the other, and you can do both. And I actually think the best democracy comes when you are both engaged in the civil society, different actions, and in political parties.